Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host, Corey Baumeister. As always, with the lovely folks here at TCGplayer.com. So, we're playing another spicy one this week. I really wanted to bring some maybe non-tier 1 strategies these last few weeks and really show the diversity of standard that we're in right now. This standard format is one of the best in years. I love it. There's so much fun stuff to do. And this week we're taking a look at a very great Grixis Midrange deck that is abusing the best cards in the format. We played 5 great rounds. We played a couple Sultais. We played Simic Nexus. We played a little bit against Black-Red Aggro and Esper Control here. I don't want to spoil any of the matches, but they were interesting to say the least. You're going to have to watch all the way to round 5. Round 5, I can't even believe what happened. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty unreal. Okay? Everybody, I got all the links below if you want to take the fast track to any of these matches, as well as the deck tech at the end if you want to check out a little bit about the deck before we actually start. I didn't give any spoilers there, so feel free to check that out. And then I also have a short write-up along with a short sideboard guide at www.tcgplayer.com, where you can find that as well. Enjoy the games. And welcome to the games here. Alright, well, I was excited to test out the power of this deck, but it won't be with this opening hand. That's a yikes. I think we keep this, because it's quite good if we can string together a couple lands with the Scribe, plus we can buy a little time with these two. I'm going to keep. We're not going to want that. A forest, well, especially if we get an untapped land here. Now, Carnival will be quite good against that. Obviously a lot better on turn 1, even though it looks like, oh, it could just be another Llanowar. Wow, just wanted to get in there. Okay. That's reasonable. Well, I think it is worth it here. More important to strip the mana here, especially because the steam vents would make us take damage anyways. Now we're hoping to get a land here to start getting thieves going. Alright. Alright, well, it's on. We got a plan. Start the thief train. Hope they don't have removal. No blocks. Thieves does some work on its own. This could be a baby Grixis, yep. So we're going to want to kill that. Get that out of there. Now we really just want like a green creature or something that costs 2. Perfect. Not bad because, or not the greatest because it really doesn't actually stop any attackers. And like a Vivian probably essentially shuts the door on us here. Okay, that's not a Vivian. Now we want an explorer creature, to be honest. Alright. Ooh. Hostage taker's pretty good. We can take one of their explorer creatures. Pretty clear they don't have removal or they would have killed Thief. Alright. It's definitely tricky though because we are unable to play the spell. Could just play a thief and block. That doesn't seem very good. Alright, we're going to take Branch Walker because we're going to block Jade Light with Hostage Taker, unfortunately. Maybe with Wild Growth, but... yeah, maybe we can get a Wild Growth out of here. It does give him it back. Yeah, alright, we'll just chump. We got a very dangerously low life total, which is not ideal, of course, but it looks like our opponent's probably pretty flooded here. So if any, at worst case, we can go Branch Walker into Thought Erasure, which is quite good. Grixis is also pretty good here. So, I'm going to pick a Grixis. I think. This is close. Jade Light, if we get a land going Jade Light and Branchwalker, is pretty sweet, but we might need to gain the life back here. So, I think we start with a Thought Erasure and try to get a land on top. Wow, yep, that's kind of what there had to be. Alright, we'll get the land. Play it, say go. Sultai has a lot of powerful top decks here. Alright, well, we're just taking over now. Still not going to get any more aggressive than we have to. Okay. Could do this for 3. It's probably better to just play another Thief. But a Grixis or something from them is quite scary. For 6, that would be pretty good. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have said it. I cursed myself. Now we can kill that, of course, but it's not necessarily great. No. What could we find back? Nothing worth it, so no find. Contempt is probably pretty solid. Llanowar is just okay, so yeah, we'll get a Contempt. End the turn. Now I'm terrified of what could happen. We could be dead very easily here. 2 removal spells. Yeah, even a Vivian.
See if you're worthy.
Not to kill it, huh? Then gets a land, so that's kind of cool. Contempting Vivian, I think, is going to have to happen. Or we could try to kill this and attack. It's a little risky. Yeah, I don't like it. But I kind of want to get aggressive here. Attack with these 2. Okay. Killing the Thief. Alright, well, this does kill a Planeswalker too, so we can play Thief and this, actually. That's probably way better. Kind of forgot that kills a Planeswalker as well.
Just like before.
Keep trying to steal all their stuff. Ooh. Alright, get on in there. Try to get a Wild Growth Walker here. Now I think we'll Grixis for 5. Alright, game 1. We won with Sultai by casting a Grixis, so kind of Sultai. Alright, Disdainful Stroke is quite good against him. I really do like Eldish Reborn. Angrath is pretty good against Grixis, I have to say. So I like Carnival against specifically Llanowar Elves. Daredevil doesn't have that much application. It can be good, but it's not an insanely good early drop unless they're trying to get really crazy with duresses. Same with Chupacabra, or I mean, Rekindling Phoenix is here. They do have Contempts plus Hostage Takers. Kind of like just doing like this. Niv Mizzet's also pretty bad against him. I could see us just not wanting to play Niv Mizzet. It's hard to cast. It's just not that good. I'd rather have Phoenixes, I think. I can be convinced to that. Alright, game 2 against Sultai. You know, this deck, I'm really wondering what's supposed to be the bad matchups. It seems like it just has some good game against everything. This deck might be the real deal. Alright, so no 1-drop, so unlikely that this is going to actually matter. So I think we're going to play it a little bit safe and put this into play tapped. Okay. Same thing for this. We have no play for Steam Vent, so we'll put that into play tapped. Now it's Thief time. And then we can just start carnaging them. Had to expect a cast down. They're just gonna play draw go. We're gonna start attacking their hand instead of playing more creatures. All right, blightning you. Find and Carnal Tizzle. Well, Carnage Timer is quite bad for us, so I don't know what to think about that. Vivian's also pretty good here. Just got 1 card back, huh? Well, we could Carnage to make sure they for sure don't, unless they top deck a land, can play Carnage Tyrant. Seems good, but still risky. Alright, let's do it again. Probably discards those 2, yep. Now we hope they don't draw a land. We need 1 turn off from Carnage. Hooray! Now, it's probably time to just get the Siege Gang going. So what wouldn't they play? They would a land, any creature. The only things they wouldn't play is like Contempt, Cast Down, stuff like that. Where we'd rather they kill Siege Gang than Thief. Yep, that's definitely one of those possibilities as well. I think we have basic lands, or at least 1. Grixis, a baby one. Okay, so the Carnage is coming down next turn, whether we like it or not. Mostly not. Now we'll get this out of there so we can start getting some damage in. And at least we're going to get a hit in with Thief if they do decide to play Carnage, aka not drawing something to kill Thief. Ooh. Well, that's okay for us because we do have the Bedevil for that. Alright. So we'll get rid of this, see what we get off Thief. Now we would love like a Vivian, to be honest. Get some card advantage going. Hostage Taker is not ideal. Yeah, I don't really want any of these specifically, but I guess Hostage Taker has the highest upside. But yeah, now we can't cast anything. We don't just want a Hostage Taker into an empty board. There's Viv.
That can't
Yep.
help you now.
Well, we get to Hostage Take that at least. Ooh, that was nice. We get to do it all. You. I'll take that. No, thank you. I'll be taking that. This deck just takes everything and I love it. I love it. Play a Branchwalker. Library. You. Viv. You. Sweet. This deck is nice. This deck really plays some powerful magic cards. Alright, Grixis, pretty strong. Alright. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's Exactsies. Boom. Boom. It's like we're in the Wild Wild West right here. Stay tuned for round 2. Alright, round 2 time, everybody. Still can't keep an opening hand here to save our life. This is a definite mulligan. Yikes. That's a yikes. We're going to mulligan this. We're going to keep. Let's hope the power of these cards can bring us home to the promised land here, but not a great situation here. I think we just have to keep any land. A mountain is probably the least land we want right now, but ooh, is this also Simic Nexus? This could be a bad matchup. Our deck really takes advantage of creature strategies, and so does our hand. This could be an easy dunking from our opponent. We do have some stuff in the board that helps a little bit, but yeah, our deck is pretty clunky, and this hand is terrible. When you mold a 5, what can you do? Yep. Our opponent also mulligan, so maybe there's a little hope. Okay. Not reclamation. Hooray! Boo! Boo! We can't cast any of our spells. Boo! Yay! We get to cast a spell that's not very good in this matchup. Of course, Rekindling Phoenix is a house, but look at that graphic. It's beautiful. Interesting, interesting. We're gonna get on in there. Now we do get to Carnage here, so it's kind of nice. Alright, Carnage is a pretty sweet split card. Blightning you. If our opponent has Nexus, they just Nexus now and then discard their other 2 cards. Probably not ideal. Fogland. Grixis is pretty good. We get to steal it with Hostage Taker, but not even that good for us. I'll be taking that. It's good for us in the sense that it's not on our opponent's board anymore. And we can Growth Spiral with Daredevil. It's not nothing. Yep. That's definitely not nothing either. But our opponent doesn't have that source of card advantage yet, so we're not incredibly dead yet by any means. But like a Chemister's Insight, I think would spell the end. That's pretty good too. 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we'll get on in there. That Carnage was a pretty good draw. Might be a Fog, yep. I think we just Carnage him. Of course, that's not what we want to be doing. This doesn't present lethal, though. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nothing does. Unfortunately, there's no way to present lethal next turn, which is a huge problem, but why? Why does it keep giving me that option? Why? Oh, because we're in combat. Duh. Doy. Alright. Blightning you. Mystic Snake, huh? Alright. Pretty bad for us. We can try to hostage taker that one. That's actually a relevant thing to have. Having a Grixis here when we're low on mana is not as relevant. Oh, our opponent doesn't have a lot of... never mind. We're dead. 8-8 is pretty strong. A Nexus here just about locks it up. Yep. This is going to be a bad matchup. This has got to be one of the worst. This deck destroys creature decks. Because every card is so hard to deal with. Yep. Yep. You don't need to show us much to win this game. Honestly, this was probably enough even if they don't have a Nexus. They have an Insight. Just Nexus us, please. Yep. No, we just can't really beat the board. Okay. There we go. Put us out of our misery. Nexus is kind of a bummer card because you know that you're more than likely dead, but you can't really concede because you're not 100% dead yet. We do have a good sideboard for this. Because we have so many bad cards. Start with taking out what we can and hope we can take out more. Alright. So, these cards are also kind of bad, but we definitely can't take out everything. Hostage Taker is probably the best answer to Grixis. So we might as well keep them. But we don't want all of them, of course. Go with this. We do have some nice sideboard tech here and a lot of hand disruption. It does get a lot better post-board. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll fight the good fight. That's the nice thing about Grixis, is it really has a lot of the best sideboard options. You can go into more cards to deal with tough-to-deal creatures like Carnage Tyrant, or you can transition into just being able to rip apart your opponent's hand, and that's what we want to do against Nexus. This hand does not do any of these things. I think this is a mulligan. Does not do enough. We do not have enough lands. We're going to keep, but yeah, this did not perform for us this game, or this round. Nib Mizzet is good against him, but not when it's going to be your first play. I guess we want to keep it, but don't even know if I want to cast it next turn. Yeah, we probably do, just in case their hand is, like, relying on Search for Ascanta. Okay, their hand is kind of bad as well. Unfortunately, ours is very bad. That's fair. That's pretty fair. Thief. Nope. And now we can't even cast our Kindling Phoenix next turn because of the Mystic Snake. Yikes. We'll just wait to cast a Niv to force their hand. Now they get to Grixis. At least if they Grixis for 4, we get to play a Phoenix. If they do nothing, we'll do nothing. They'll get a Rude Awakening when we drop a Niv here. Boom, counter that. Hello, it's Nib Mizzet. How you been? Probably a Grixis now. Yep. Alright, 1 to you. Play both our cards. Can attack. We do gotta have some ways to deal with Grixis. Maybe we took out too much removal, but I don't think so. Yep. Yep. Yep, at least we get to start doing some damage with Niv. Is a tough card for them to deal with once it's in play. Of course, if they just start Nexusing and going nuts, doesn't matter that we draw 5 cards and deal them 5 damage, but if they're only trying to value gain cards here, then being able to untap with 5 new cards is very relevant. And yeah, when they're doing stuff like that... Nexus. Alright. We're gaining all the value. Ooh, and an Unmoored Ego. We can just get all the Nexus out of their deck. I think that's what we name. Otherwise, I don't know how they actually win. I mean, Grixis and stuff, just going nuts with that, but... 4, 5, 6, 7. Nexus. Alright, interesting. Deal 1 here. I'm going to Thought Erasure. Pretty good answer to that. We'll go to kill this Mystic Snake now. Now we're going to attack with the Kindling Phoenix. Okay. Now I think we're going to bait out with a Thief of Sanity. Yeah, maybe drawing the card off Unmoored Ego is more important. Alright. Unmoored Ego. Giving it a shot. Alright, they had another one. That's unfortunate. Boom. Play a Thief. Alrighty, let's see what our opponent can do. That's pretty good. Gonna go with no blocks just in case they don't Nexus us. We can attempt to Angrass, steal this, and win the game. But yeah, we could easily be in trouble here. Okay. And we're very much in trouble if our opponent has a Nexus. In fact, we're just dead. It's a bad matchup, though, so I wouldn't be too upset about it. And our hand was pretty bad. That's not us dead yet. That's us dead. Wah, wah. Alright, well, we found our bad matchup in the form of Simic Nexus, so stay tuned. We'll try to face more creatures next round. Round 3 coming at ya. Oh, man, can we ever get a perfectly good hand? I mean, Grixis, of course, has a bit of a rough mana base. Now, we're on the draw, so I think I want to keep this. Because our hand is so powerful with 1 black source. If we draw it within 2 turns, our hand is insane busted. And if we draw it within 3 turns, going turn 3 Thief is still pretty good. So we're going to keep it. This hand has a fail rate, though. I'm willing to accept it. Our opponent is on the mulligan. And I do think this is very close here, you know? Gutter Bones. It's not what we wanted. Yeah, our mana base is very greedy. That is the problem with this deck. Very greedy. And we got a Rakdos deck here. But if we can get a Swamp on top here, or any kind of black source, I think we'll be sitting okay. Not even great, because our hand is not that great against these type of creatures, but... Youch. Double youch. Now we're taking 5 to 13, and we have to take 5 at least next turn, even if we do top deck black. Yeah. I still stand by the keep, but it's not looking very good now. Even with this, I think we're in trouble. I'm gonna play this, at least we can stop the Dust Zealot. But, I mean, like, any removal spell here, and we're just toast. Getting down a Hostage Taker next turn would be quite good, or Rekindling Phoenix. Unfortunately, Thief is not that good against our opponent, just because we're taking small little creatures, and yeah. Youch, youch, youch. Stealing this. Blocking this. We're still taking... Oh, we're dead. Alright. Well, let's see what we can take out. Cry is insane. Moment of Craving will be pretty good. Shivan Fire is alright. Lava Coils are great. Exiling their creatures, exiling Gutter Bones or something is awesome. Now, it comes down to Thought Erasure and Thief. On the play, and maybe just in general, Thought Erasure is probably not as good. Alright. Not too much to sideboard against other creature strategies, just because our deck is very well versed to already beat these kind of decks. So that's kind of what you look for if you're trying to metagame some competition, is like, if creature decks are dominating your FNM or your GP you're expecting, or even the Pro Tour you're expecting a lot of creatures. Decks like this are great because you already have a deck that's game 1 plan is going to beat these, and then games 2 and 3 you still have a good matchup. So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. Obviously our hand was a little weak, maybe the keep was bad. But the mana base on this deck is also just very rough at times, as we're noticing a lot. I think we got a mulligan. I mean, 2 Niv Mizzets is already a mulligan. Plus everything is very expensive. Yeah, this is a ship. Sounds okay. It's definitely not great. Any land we're going to keep on top. Alright, so we won't be able to do anything next turn, but Moment of Craving on turn 3 is still pretty fine. Okay. Just going to say go, I think. Rather just Moment of Craving whatever they play. Theater of Horrors. Great target. We're going to say go again. I'd rather just bedevil something than just cast a pointless Daredevil right now. It's pretty bad for us right now. We need some Lava Coils. Ugh. It's unfortunate. That was about the last draw we wanted. Well, I mean, if anything, we're definitely experiencing or seeing the problems with this deck, and that's the mana base. Like, the fact that our deck is kind of clunky, we don't have a lot of card advantage, plus, at least we can kill that. Land. Okay. Might still be in this. Siege Gang. Pew. And if we get a pretty much any land, we'd be able to Niv Mizzet. So at least there's a lightning strike in the yard, so now this does something at least. Bunch of fiends is no real big deal. That's kind of annoying. I'll block that. Now if we can get a Niv Mizzet down, we'd be sitting pretty good. Ooh, or another Rekindling Phoenix to stop theirs. That's pretty good. And we're just playing a little defensively for now. Our opponent probably just has a land. The attack with everything is not terrible, but I understand this conservative line as well. Ooh. I think here we just get down to Siege Gang. This is good, but we'd rather exhaust all their removal first and then start stealing their stuff. Boom! Our opponent's like, yeah, Siege Gang is insane. Siege Gang is actively insane right now. Alright, on the draw. I think Thief of Sanity is actually worse on the draw, and Thought Erasure is actually decent. First of all, we kind of need it just to fix our mana base, and they go bigger. So whenever a red-black deck is going bigger, you want to have answers like Thought Erasure instead of like Thief of Sanity, where they're still going to have Lightning Strike, which we saw. Plus, they could easily have Shock still. So I think Thought Erasure is a little better on the draw. In general, I like Hand Disruption on the draw versus on the play. Because on the play, you really want to be putting your threats into play as fast as possible. And then hoping they don't have answers to deal with it. On the draw, they're trying to put threats into play as fast as possible. And if you can disrupt it with like Thought Erasure, sitting good. Obviously, it's not a good draw late game. We do mulligan a lot with this deck. I can definitely tell that. Alright, so Thought Eraser's on the draw. Decent to fix our mana base here. Plus, hopefully control them a little bit. Still got one Thought Erasure. Not what we wanted there. Alright. Ship it in. Judith, huh? And I think that's what we got to take. The rest is just removal, which we don't really care about. We just want to get lands and start casting Siege Gangs. War Boss. Oh, I was like, yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, that doesn't do anything yet. War Boss or Phoenix would be horrible. Our opponent gave us a little bit of free information there. Alright, we get to cast Siege Gang on time, though. Not a big deal at all, actually. We know about that mountain. You might as well play it. Alright. Siege Gang time. You get to kill it in many different ways. But we get tokens now. Ooh, don't love that. Don't love that. But if we just get a Niv Mizzet down, our opponent probably doesn't love that. Niv Mizzet, Niv Mizzet, Niv Mizzet. Yeah, you go ahead and sag your creatures. That is a sweet combo with Rekindling Phoenix, I will agree, but... Phoenix comes back. Zealot. If they can't kill Niv Mizzet right now, it's going to be pretty tough for our opponent to win. This deck's got some power. Niv Mizzet and Siege Gangs are some of the most powerful creatures in the metagame right now. Sure. Sacrifice this. Boom! Our opponent can't handle the Nib Mizzet. Just like many decks in this metagame right now. Everybody stay tuned for our next round. We finally won the die roll. Hooray. Alright, we get to go first. Do you think we can not mulligan as well in our opening hand? Oh my god, I got high hopes for this round. We have a keeper and we get to keep and we get to play first. This might be a deck where you kind of do want to go second too, which is kind of weird, but this deck controls everything with very powerful cards. The only way you lose is if you stumble. Alright. Well, I don't think I want to cast a Daredevil yet. So our opponent could just Thought Erasure now. And then they kind of have to take Daredevil. Otherwise, we get to Thought Erasure them. Okay. Obviously, it could be any deck. Ooh. Thief. Okay. When somebody says, would you like to cast a turn 3 Thief of Sanity against any deck? I'm usually like, yup. Yes, please. Because now even if they go Jade Light or Branch Walker, we get to deal with it with Wild Growth. I'll take it. Whoa. Let's see what we get. A Contempt, huh? Whenever somebody's like, would you like to cast another Thief of Sanity? I'm usually like, yup. And I think that's still the case now. We got a plan here. Obviously, our opponent's board can start getting out of hand. So we for sure, yeah, I mean, like, that's an okay play, but we're for sure just going to kill that and get our thief back. Get the thief back. It's actually pretty good. Going to attack. Cast down. Yep, that's pretty good right now. I think we're going to actually Lava Coil this one. And then cast down this if they do anything that we want to kill it with. Or if they try to like play an Explorer creature, something like that. This could be a Vivian. Yeah, we're still going to cast this down. Boom. And the nice thing about cast down going there is we get to Daredevil back the cast down if we would like. Pretty good.
Beasts are much more reliable than trees. Feel the wrath of Scala.
Pretty good, pretty good. Now, do we thief this? Probably supposed to. Or we could just contempt it. Not really sure. If we could redirect with Carnage, that would be sweet, but I don't think we can. Get a Grixis. God, I wonder if that works like that. To target opponent. It just says opponent. Contempt that.
Not dead yet.
If anything, we've gotten a lot of value, and we've killed two of our opponent's things with two of their own cards. So I mean, already these thieves have done some damage, and we still have a Grixis waiting here for later. Yeah, we're not gonna let that happen. All right, well. We're gonna Daredevil the cast down. And get our thief back. Not even going to leave this open for Carnival because we have a first striker to block the Branch Walker. Don't care too much about that. Could see a Grixis for 4 here. Finality. Okay. Starting over a bit. Alright, well, I think we just carnage him. Discard some cards, please. Not bad. I'm guessing that's a Grixis. That's a Grixis. Yep. A very solid hostage taker target. Or if they play a land, we could easily carnage here. Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect carnage, right? Especially if we top deck a land. Yeah, I think it's just worth it. Get the cards out of your hand. Wasn't even that good. Now, hostage taking this is obviously Grimace. That was a great lucky draw there. That's kind of what we need to deal with that. We have to get that off the board. That was a great draw, actually, so can't talk too much smack on that one. But now don't do it again. Another Vivian is very bad for us. Okay. Can hostage take this? Stops the assault a little bit. Plus gives us some land. And then we can Grixis next turn. Hooray! Does our opponent have a Grixis? Dang, they do. We could go a Grixis for 5. Or we could just cast Niv Mizzet. Either way, our opponent can get back Hostage Taker, which is pretty good against either of those plans. Think we'll just Grixis for 4. Draw a couple cards. No attacks because our opponent can just hostage take this. We were hoping to draw something to deal with that that hostage taker, but ooh, sure. We're going to attack. Play a Niv Mizzet. This forest is really hurting us here. And now if our opponent does get back Grixis, which I'm assuming they will, then we can at least start Thought Erasuring their hands and maybe find an answer for the Grixis. So it'd be a Grixis for 6. So drawing 3 cards, that's not that scary. I'm more afraid of Hostage Taker right now, to be honest. Yep, our opponent read that situation right. Can't recast Niv Mizzet, though. But, I mean, with 4 cards in hand, we should have an answer to deal with a Hostage Taker, but we just don't. I really hope they play whatever else they drew. They're thinking about it. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. It's bad. Got a Thought Erasure. Now we're just in trouble. We maybe should have cast that other Thought Erasure. Yep. Now, if we find an answer for Nim Mizzet, we might be okay, but that's not it, unless our opponent blocks. I think we have to go for it. We're just going to lose anyways. Yep. Our opponent drew well in some key spots. Got us good. Yeah, I guess if our opponent just deals us the damage, we're just dead, huh? Yeah, alright. That was lame. I guess we could have just not played Nim Mizzet. Just not playing it. I mean, then they just Grixis, but maybe that's better. Alright, well. We'll try to bounce back here. Yeah, I think Nim Mizzet is bad against Sultai. I don't like Daredevils that much. Siege gangs are okay. Phoenixes are okay. Go 1-1. I think it's pretty close either way. Alright, we really want a Thought Erasure Thief draw. That's kind of our ideal start, basically against any deck. Really, really good against everything. Love to play first. Yikes. Double yikes. Definitely going to keep, but not our favorite hand. It's a good top. Now we can at least Thought Erasure. And we almost want to hit a non-creature so we can turn on Daredevil. Ooh, Duress? Oh, that still turns on Daredevil. Let's see, go. I guess we didn't have to show our opponent that. We get to Duress you now. No land? Daredevil. Duress you. Oops. They hit us with the oops. That reminds me to disable emotes. Oh, I hate that kind of stuff so much. It's just annoying. Okay. Not much we can do here. Viv, huh? Oh, we're gonna get him with the oops. We're just gonna want to counter Vivian. We're not going to need to bedevil anything. Suppose we might have to just bedevil this Jade Light eventually. Phoenix is a pretty good drop. Alright. Just have to say go. Yep. Take it nice and slow and steady. Until we get a siege gang, of course. Should we hit him with the oops? We might have to. Finality. Opponent's trying to get us to block. So I'm guessing they have land finality. We're just gonna go no blocks. Didn't want to play into it. I guess that does keep that alive, so that's kind of bad for us. Ooh, we could find to get back Siege Gang and Daredevil. That's pretty damn good. Pretty darn good. Excuse my language. Maybe we don't need to do that yet. Could just bedevil this and then attack. And then Vivian's probably coming down, or Grixis. Either or we could counter. Yeah, we should have blocked with just one token last turn. That was kind of bad. Let's hope Vivian is just played here. Oops. Alright, we'll get a find here. Get back Siege Gang, Dire Fleet. Now we'll for sure attack for 4. Puts them down to 8. Now, is there another thing we want to cast? Yeah, Dire Fleet next turn for Duress plus Bedevil the Grixis is going to be pretty good. Vivian.
I've lost so much, no one knows the wilds like I do.
Not too big of a deal, because we can also Assassin's Trophy that if we really want to. Another Grixis. Alright, well. So if we were to Assassin's Trophy this plus Thought Erasure, take, you know, whatever this mystery card is more than likely, and then our opponent Grixis is for 5, possibly 6 to gain 3, going to 11, but they're taking 6, so they're going to 5, and then this will be lethal after a Bedevil. Oh. Yep, because they're going to get a land as well, but that probably won't matter. So we'll have to Thought Erasure first. So we're going to all attack here. Boom. Boom. We'll start with the Thought Erasure. Okay. I suppose a Grixis. That for 2 damage from Siege Gang. Yeah, we can probably do better. Alright. Assassin's Trophy. Get rid of that.
Every defeat is a new beginning.
You can have a land. We'll bedevil your Grixis. And then, boom. So if our opponent does it for 4 and gains 2, they'd be dead on board, so that can't happen. Dead on board with this. Okay. What could it be? Contempt? Contempt this, go to 4. Contempt doesn't work if we also bedevil. So yeah, Contempt's the only thing that saves our opponent here. But it's not enough here. So that'll be game. I guess our opponent could have Assassin's Trophy or Cast Down plus Negate. Yep, that's not enough. Sorry. Oops. Boom, boom. Alright, going to game 3 here. Definitely Daredevil seems okay, because especially with Assassin's Trophy, whenever our opponent's given access to that, that's pretty nice. Pretty good against Llanowar here, so we're going to keep those. We're just going to keep it this way. Game 3 against an opponent that oops does so. Of course, we all want this person to lose. At least they didn't premature good game. That's the worst. Alright, we got a mulligan here. We can keep this. Looks like our opponent's on the mull as well. A decent hand, nothing great. We're going to be greedy and bottom this. We really want Thief of Sanities and all that kind of jazz. El Branch Walker. Alright, just a 2-1 we don't care about too much, but we will do that. Now we can find Thief, maybe. We're going to get rid of this Contempt. We want to play our Rekindling Phoenix freely. And we're going to keep this. We do probably want the land. Not that big of a deal. It's pretty close. There's a lot of good cards. Doesn't even play the Watery Grave. That didn't make any sense. Alright. I don't think Lava Coiling this is very good, so we'll just say go. Grixis for 2 we don't care about too much. Don't really care about that Duress either, to be honest. Boom. Now we get to get the Phoenix going. Ooh, and we got the Duress for later. Caw-caw. Grixis for 3. No, we're just gonna... Alright, 1 card, that's completely fine, because this Duress from Daredevil is going to be nice. I feel like we should get him with the oops one more time, but we're better than that. Ooh, those are both good cards. Actually, don't know which one I want to take more. What can be returned? Absolutely nothing. But if we duress away the Vraska, then they can return that. So, yeah, I think it's unfortunately better to get rid of the Eldest Reborn. Not ideal there. I definitely didn't want to leave them with the Vraska and the chance to play it, but we can slowly muscle down the Vraska, but it's not going to be easy. Yep. Guessing that's going up. And then we'll have to attack that 3 times, I believe is the math. Ooh. Attack that. Now, do we play Thief? Probably. Force them to sacrifice Vraska to deal with Thief, basically. Is this finality? Because that would be annoying. Yep, this is going to be a finality. Lucky draw. Lucky draw. Wow. Well, this should have been our match. Or at least it should have been a good game. Now we're just unlucky here. Bummer. Yeah, this Vraska is going to eat us up. Well, can't speak too soon. Negate. Oh, classic. Seems pretty fitting here. Seems pretty fitting. I got a small dose of salt for somebody who uses the premature good games and then just gets very lucky against us. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. Bummer. Boo. Boo. Alright, everybody, stick around for our last and final round here. Alright, let's see if we can salvage this with a nice 3-2 to end this Droppin' Bombs. I would love to play first. We've mulliganed so much with this deck, it's kind of a tilt. I will mulligan and I will keep this. This hand's great. This hand is great. Our opponent is thinking on the 7. We're going to keep this. Definitely don't want Lava Coil. I can see the numbers being tweaked a little with this. I think maybe the Lava Coils and Bedevil numbers, I think there's one of each too many in the deck where we should have another land. And maybe like one Search for Azcanta is kind of what I would like to lean on. Super Friends! Our opponent is in trouble unless they top deck beautifully to deal with Thief. Alright, Thief, do your thing! Do your thing. Do your thing. Okay, please don't kill it. Opponent did play an untapped land there. Thought Erasure. Yeah, we might as well just double Erasure here. Nope. Blue. Our opponent doesn't, or our deck doesn't recognize that we might have another card in hand. Yep. Don't worry, we're coming back with the other one. Gotta get Kaya's Wrath out of here. Carnival. Is that good enough? Our opponent's gonna play a land. Draw another card. I actually don't like it. They just have lands. We don't really want them to discard unnecessary lands. What? Not our day today. Not our day. Our opponent has drawn well out of their situations. Yeah, this Rekindling Phoenix isn't even good. Teferi just destroys us. Alright, Thought Erasure, right on time. Now they draw the land. Alright, we'll keep Siege Gang.
We need to move quickly.
Nice. 7 cards in graveyard. Sweet, sweet. Alright. Siege Gang, do your worst. Esper Control, I think, is another one of those matchups that I don't foresee being very good. If this is a Wrath, we just lose. Yep. You got it. No way you can come back from that kind of hand advantage when we are behind on board. That's an ill-fought fight right there. We once again do have a lot of great cards because that's how bad the matchup is, unfortunately. So, lava coils are bad. Hostage takers are very bad. Now, we don't want all bedevils. So, we probably just take out 2 of those. Kindling Phoenix is also a card I'm not a big fan of. Same with Siege Gang. Alright, we're going to go like that. Well, we ripped our opponent's hand last game, but you can't rip apart the top of the deck. Lesson learned. Love to play first. Are we going to keep an opening hand? Alright, well, this hand does rip apart their hand. Which is something I'm into. You don't want to do it on turn 1, though. They don't play anything on turn 1 that's relevant, so might as well give them an extra card to see. Alright, another card to rip apart their hand. Guess we'll take Thought Erasure. No, we just want land. Well, I guess we will Thought Erasure again and hope they drew an on-land. Jeez. We're never lucky here. Now when we want them to draw spells, they draw lands. Yikes. Yep. Alright, we're Kindling Phoenix. Absorb? Nice. Nice. This has been a tilting dropping bombs. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh my god!
Sorry, hurry.
We got a negate to back up the Eldritch Reborn. At least we get to try. Yep. Regardless, we get to take a peek at their hand, but we really hope they don't have a Mortify. Think I just duress here. Okay. Now we're just going to hold up Disdainful Stroke. Doesn't stop a Mortify, though, unfortunately. No! Oh my god. Oh my god, we are just running bad. We are just running bad. Wow. We're just getting beat so badly. Wow, I'm quite tilted. I'm quite tilted. This is pretty unreal. Pretty unreal. Yep, your turn.
Keep up the pace.
At least we get to make sure that that Teferi dies. So the 4th Teferi on top, I would imagine. Oh my god, that's not a Teferi? Chemister's Insight then, of course, right? Oh, okay, Chromium. Okay. Nice, nice. Oh my god. Well, normally, if I have a losing record, you know, I don't like to hide my record. But here, we had 2 rounds in a row where we were wildly ahead, and our opponents just drew perfect, and we just could not possibly win. Yep. What can you do, y'all? What can you do? Well, I hope you all can commiserate with me a little bit in the comments. Shed a tear for your fallen comrade over here, because we got savagely outdrew this game. This was the worst of them all, but holy. This was a tilting dropping bombs, everybody. They can't all be winners. But this one, we truly felt the defeat. But that's alright. That's what Magic's all about. We take the swings, we move on, and we play another deck as fast as humanly possible. Just kidding. Everybody, thank you for tuning in here. I really appreciate it. Feel free to check out the Deck Tech Next. And of course, make sure to check me out on Twitch, where I do full-time streaming as well at CoreyB_MTG. Stay tuned for the Deck Tech. All right, everybody, welcome to the Deck Tech here. Well, those were some tilting matches. We cannot deny that fact. But this deck did do some cool things. And if you're expecting a lot of creature decks in your metagame, this deck does some very good work at dealing with cards or decks like White Weenie. You know, Sultai can be tough because the Grixis just get out of hand, but overall I think Sultai should be a good matchup as well. The bad matchups are Esper Control and Nexus, though. I mean, those types of strategies, you can just tell by our main deck, it's just not very well equipped. That's why we have 1,000 sideboard cards in hopes to beat it, but in general, the deck just feels a little clunky, so moving forward, I would put a Lava Coil and a Bedevil into the sideboard, add a land and a Search for Azcanta, a little bit of inevitability, plus, you just need to hit your land drops with this deck. If you don't, you usually lose. We're bending on the power of Thief of Sanity here, which I do think is one of the best creatures in Standard, if not the best right now. So I love that it's taking advantage of one of the greatest combos right now, Thought Erasure and Thief of Sanity. Plus recognizing the fact that Hostage Taker is just one of the best creatures right now, along with Rekindling Phoenix. This deck is just basically all the best cards in this color combination mixed together with some good removal. Doesn't really have a lot of synergy together, but when you have pure power, you really don't need to do anything else. Same with Niv Mizzet. It's a card that a lot of people have been kind of sleeping on lately, but it's just a card that ends game. Another card I was very impressed with is Carnival Carnage. The card does some absolute work. Like, the fact that both sides are great against every matchup. And what I'm saying is, like, you know, we're playing against Control. Carnival is not going to be good. We're playing against Aggro. Carnage is not going to be good. But in some matchup, each side is good at some point. So I really like this card, and I really like the way the deck's going. We didn't do the best in this, but I'm not going to spoil the games, but you'll just have to rewatch some of these games because it was kind of absurd, I have to say. We'll move on to the sideboard, and like I said, we have a lot of anti-control cards here. Duress, Disdainful Stroke, Negates, Unmoored Ego even, Eldest Reborn, Angrath. This sideboard just screams the fact that we really have a bad Control and Nexus matchup. There's a couple cards for aggro, but basically they're the narrow ones where, of course, they're great against aggro, but they're not that good against, like, Sultai. So it's just an extra hammer punch down White Weenie and other super linear aggressive decks. So I think this deck is very good moving forward. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking. Mostly I would add a land. I felt like I always was really stressing to get a land. And flooding wasn't the biggest deal because our cards were so powerful. So I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, you guys. I'm going to be at Magic Fest Tampa this weekend playing some Modern. So feel free to come by and say hello if you're there. Always love to meet some fellow friends and fans, okay? So we will see you next week for some more standard Droppin' bomb action. See you next week.